Hello, welcome back to my channel. I think I do a book haul for you today. Seen a bunch of people do some great book hauls, so kind of got a bit left out there, and I've amassed a fairly large amount of books for someone that has just books everywhere right now because I'm still changing out my library and reorganizing. I just like supposedly getting some new bookshelves, but I kind of dithering about what to do. Just painted this nice color here, but I'm kind of just dithering about what kind of shelves or bookcases to get. So probably should get on that though. There's books everywhere. I'm just like crammed into a little corner of my room here. But yeah, I've been odd stops for in charity shops and stuff. So I'm picking up books here and there. I've got quite the selection now. A couple are missing. They're just either still in the car or in the bedroom or something. I just couldn't go round them up. But this isn't most of it anyway. I don't think it's thematic or anything, but I'll just start with the ones I picked up today. I got 1916 by Morgan Llewellyn. Got a step back, it's quite nice. This is a historical novel based on the Irish Revolution for 1916, obviously. It's pretty big. So it's like 500 pages. It came out in '98. Don't remember this. I'm kind of really getting into reading more about Ireland, and especially I'm really getting to reading about Ireland in the 20th century, start of 20th century, and the Revolutionary War, all of what happened right after. It kind of formed all of the what's going on now, really. It's a bit of a cleanup, I think, but yeah, this should be very interesting. Very excited to read that. Don't really know where we put them. There's books everywhere here. And I also picked up Murder for Revenge. This is Otto Penzler, curated bunch of authors to write 12 new original stories. It's Mary Higgins Clark, Lawrence Block, Thomas H. Cook, Philip Margolin, I think it's Eric, Eric Lustbader, Joyce Carol Oates, David Morrell. David Morrell's most famous for writing First Blood. Yeah, a bunch of people. Just Judith Cohen, Vicky Hendricks. I think isn't Vicky Hendricks like a cozy writer? I don't know actually. Sounds familiar. Apart from Lawrence Block, I don't think I've actually read any of these people, so that's kind of pretty much why I picked it up. It's a good way to find out if I like any of these people's writing and go from there. And lastly from today, I picked up Evelyn Water's Vile Bodies. I haven't read Evelyn Water, which is kind of surprising because I'm very much into the 1920s. I'm very much into 1920s and 1950s, just in general. And I've read quite a few books. This was published in the 1930s, I think. So I've read most of my reading has probably been books published between 1930 and 1955, including a lot of literature as well as the crime book stuff that I like. But yeah, I haven't actually read any of them all. I think I was probably turned off by just how much Brideshead Revisited seemed to be on when I was a kid. But I have this, Vile Bodies now, and I have Scoop, which I will read at some point. But yeah, I guess we never really did in the school or things. So, but oh yeah, the other thing is I love Penguin Modern Classics anyway. I always try to pick them up if I see them. And this feels like it's actually from the UK because I don't know if it's like a new thing or if it's a North American thing. But they're like the new ones, the ones I've gotten here are really plastic. This is really plasticky, whereas this one's actually really kind of papery, and I much prefer this. But I don't know if I have one that I bought recently whilst living in Canada to hand to show the difference. But it's like weird. But I don't know. Maybe they just changed the way they make them. I haven't been back to the UK for a long time. And it's got a lot of bonus stuff too. Yeah, anyway, looking forward to reading that. I'm probably more into Vile Bodies and Scoop than I would be into Brightside Revisited. But I'll still read that if I get a copy. Alright, now into the more usual stuff. As in the pulpy stuff that I've been focusing most of my most of the last 20 years probably of reading, but I'm definitely my bread and butter more so. So I've got Kim Stanley Robinson Icehenge. I grew up near Stonehenge, so I usually anything that kind of references Stonehenge in any kind of way, I usually like to grab. Yeah, it just seems to be set on a different planet. Don't really know. Kim Stanley Robinson. Gene Wolfe says it's one of our that Robinson is one of our best. Gene Wolfe is a legend. 1982. No, what? 1982. Looks like 1984. Sorry, 1984 is when this came out. So yeah, interested about that. Oh, I got a couple Casker novels. Casker is kind of like what do they call it? Like a mortal truth or something. It's basically in the first one. It's he's a Roman gladiator. It's the Eternal Mercenary. That's what they call him. He was like a Roman gladiator. I think wins freedom or something, and then somehow he manages to travel through time, fighting for the little guy, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. But it's some. When would these first come out? It's some kind of like 1980s wish fulfillment. Very homoerotic covers though, which is pretty awesome. Gotta love some chiseled pecs. Yeah, and then slightly different look there, but still pretty. So a certain look anyway. Yeah, but I have another one. I hope it's one that's not these two. But I only just found out about Casker like a year or two ago when I was listening to the Paperback Warrior podcast, and then that's the only ones I've seen. The ones I grabbed them straight away. So I have three. They seem to be quite well liked. So getting into not just getting into science fiction, I'm trying to get into a bit of horror too. So I have a horror novel here called The Bog. This has a pretty cool step back. Don't really know what's going on there, but it's a bog, and bogs are creepy, I guess. It's got embossing there, which is quite nice. I like that. I have, see, there's not really much in order. I have The Destroyer, which is like an executioner influence, rip-off, whatever you want to call it. After The Executioner was successful, basically everyone tried to get a bit for themselves. Oh, and this has the great James Bond thing where it's has a great acronym. So this one's CURE. What's it stand for? I don't know. Remo Williams. So it's like a. It sounds like he's a spy. This is number 4, 1972. So it might have come out around. It might have been one of those ones where it's like executionary, but more the tail end of the James Bond. It just happened to be slightly similar to Executioner. It might not be completely ripped off from that. Might be more of a James Bond rip-off. But they kind of tail out into the kind of late 70s, 80s. They kind of tailed off and got a bit harder and less James Bondy, but they were still kind of going quite strong in the early 70s. Have what looks to be probably some more right wing wish fulfillment literature, which I do have a little soft spot for, even though it is a little bit toxic and crappy, but sometimes it can be quite entertaining. This one is called. What is it called actually? I have to read backwards. The Savage Stronghold. It's Craig Sargent. A last ranger adventure. In a city enslaved by a savage new cult, he's fighting for freedom and revenge. Oh, yeah, it must be a cult, maybe, because they have a skull on a stick, and they're wearing hoods, so that usually is a sign of a cult. On the back, it says, Martin Stone is the last ranger, America's last hope in America's darkest age. And I'm guessing that he isn't calling for revolution in the proletariat to rise above and take power and seize the means of production. I don't think that's what they're calling for, but I could be wrong. Some more horror. This one's John Saul, The God Project, as seen on Michael K. Vaughan's book haul a few weeks back. And so I think it's all about creepy kids. It's either a demon baby or a demon has the baby, or this kid's fucking creepy too. I don't know. Don't know what's going on there, but it looks amazing. And I have a penchant for creepy kids. Creepy kid horror movies are usually my favorite horror movies. Creepy kids and creepy dolls. I like two of my favorite horror movie kind of tropes or styles, I guess. Yeah, and is it this one has a great? Oh, I think it's another John Saul where it has a great author photo. So yeah, interested in reading that. See what it's about. I know that John Saul was a actor turned writer. Talking of creepy kids, have the ultimate creepy kid novel. John Wyndham's The Midwich Cuckoos, as it was filmed into the amazing Village of the Damned with when I did this before, I really struggled with his actor's name. I never looked it up, but it's the guy that played Steed in the Avengers. It's a great movie, one of my favorites, 1960, I believe. Black and white, British production, awesome. Some more sci-fi. This is from the legend that is Larry Niven, and it is with Stephen Barnes, who I do not know. But probably the best thing about it is it's illustrated by Boris Vallejo. So it's great. Oh, what's it called? It's called Achilles' Choice. It seems to have a sports theme. There's some very muscular athletes there, looking very nice. Oh, this is funny. Morgan Llewellyn is actually... I'd never really heard of Morgan Llewellyn before, but Morgan Llewellyn is someone that's blurbed on... has written a blurb on the back of here. Praised it. That's kind of funny. So yeah, never really heard of Morgan Llewellyn. Just popped right up there. But yeah, I gotta show you this stuff. The illustrations are pretty great. They just like pop up. Oh, Boris Vallejo, absolute legend. Perfect. Don't really know what's going on here, but we seem to have some cyborg aliens or something. That's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that at some point. Got so many books all the time. Some more sci-fi. I got this because of the cover, and I think it was free because it was like a stupid deal, like 3 for 2 or something. Don't really know it, but it looked awesome, and there's a sticker on the way of the name, but it's not coming off. So it's Robert L. Ford, Saturn Rook, or however you pronounce that. It's a name, so it could be Evelyn. It's a Tor book, so when I'm ever looking first to dip toe into some sci-fi, usually if it's published by Tor or Ace Books, then I'll buy it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Don't know what it's about. Don't really care. Oh yeah, okay. So we have it's a book I've actually read. It's Greg Hill's Not Just Burning. I have. So this is like this is a start of a trilogy within a series of books. Pen Cage series, but there's like 3 books that make up a trilogy on its own. You don't really need to read any of the other Pen Cage books to really get something out of this trilogy. But to be honest, you don't even need to read the trilogy. You just need to read Not Just Burning. Not Just Burning is fantastic. I read this one and I read the second one, which is the second one? The second one is The Bone Tree, which wasn't as good. It was still good, but it was a little disappointing. It just didn't have the map. It didn't have I just didn't feel like it had as much tension and the brilliance and the kind of like really deep look of like lynchings and racial crimes within American South. This is particularly set at the Mississippi Louisiana border, and it's just it's incredible. I still have to read the third one, but the second one got a little bit too bogged down with JFK conspiracy theory stuff for me, whereas this one really is much more focused on the lynchings and racial killings and the KKK and KKK offshoots. Well, they're called the Double Eagles in this, but it's based on the silver. I think they're called the Silver Dollar Gang or something, because they all have a silver dollar as a way of showing their affiliation. And it is, I believe, the crime that kind of starts it all, which is the what we read about at the start. There's a kind of a crime, but it from the 60s that we hear about it. It's this guy's music shop gets burned down with him in it, and it's a racialized killing. That's actually based on a true event, and I think he name checks his friend that actually has written, his journalist friend that has written extensively about. I think he's written Stanley Nelson of Concordia Sentinel. Is the guy he urges people to read. He's written quite a few books about miscarriages of justice and kind of racial killings and lynchings and stuff. But yeah, not just burning is actually fantastic. I would urge everyone to read it. So I've got some westerns for June on the Range. I have Gordon D. Sheriff's 5 Graves to Boot Hill. It doesn't even really matter what these are about. Most westerns are kind of the same. Again, they kind of have like a right wing kind of sense of justice, which usually involves killing people. Some can be a little bit more libertarian, I guess, but this smells quite nice. But yeah, they're usually that kind of area of politics and sense of vigilante justice. But in today's times, they kind of a bit more twee than what we're used to with the current crop of arseholes we have to deal with. What's this one? This is a Waltz Slade Western. The names are great. Maverick Showdown, Bradford Scott. Don't know anything about these. Never heard of these. Bloody Kansas, Chuck Martin. Again, don't know this one. I've read quite a few westerns, but I've read more of the bigger names. And these are probably all from the 70s. I tend to read westerns from the 50s and before. Yeah, I don't read a lot of 70s westerns. I've read mainly 50s. Well, this is a 1950s one. I usually read like 1950s and before. Kind of really more of the classic westerns before crime novels really started to be the go-to of pulp writers, and like a lot of the western writers moved to crime fiction. So I tend to read more of the Heidi. Yeah, what was this one? Buchanan's Big Showdown by Jonas Ward. I've heard of Luke Short. I haven't never read Luke Short, but I've heard of Luke Short at least. You don't see him very often in secondhand shops, so I actually really overpaid for this crappy copy, but it's worth it. Yeah, I've heard of Luke Short because he's from the 40s. This was written in 1941, so the cover is not from the 1941 though. So yeah, that's why I've heard of him, because he's more my era. Oh, it's 69 though. Fifth printing, 69. So yeah, Luke Short. What's this one called? Guns Chance. Back onto some sci-fi. Got Larry Niven, Ringworld. I think this is one of the more famous of the Larry Niven books, right? I haven't read Larry Niven in a long time. Quite like him though. John Byrne. I don't think I've read John Byrne actually. The Dreaming Earth. Great cover. Love it. I don't think I've read John Byrne yet actually. So, it says it's equal to Arthur Clarke's great work, Childhood's End. So, we'll see about that. Oh, this is an exciting one. It's not sci-fi, but it is movie related. It's Harold Robbins. Stone for Danny Fisher, and this was made into the Elvis movie. The one set in, was it King Creole? One set in New Orleans, which I have actually really like. It's one of my favorites because it has Walter Matthau on it, and it has what's her face from the Is it Munsters? Like Morticia, or was the Munsters version of Morticia, or was she Morticia from that family? Well, what was her name? It was Carol something, wasn't it? Oh, if I should have looked all this stuff up, but yeah, it's a great movie, and it has a lot of great Elvis songs in it. It has Elvis and a lot of his great songs. So, but I'm pretty sure Stone for Danny Fisher is actually set in New York. So, I actually love books set in New York, or I love books that have a very specific sense of place. So it doesn't really matter where they're set. It really describes a place. Like I love Paul Bowles. What's his famous one that's set in Cairo? Or is it Tangiers? Oh, I can't remember. It's set somewhere. It's set somewhere in North Africa, and it's very specific. And I should let it come down. I should probably reread it. I think it might be Tangiers actually. It's actually really good. It has a really good sense of place. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to reading that. It'll be very interesting. It was hugely popular in its time. When it was written, I feel like I have Mike Gold's famous. I guess it's you probably call it anarchist books set in New York. So yeah, this is probably what has actually working class characters too. It spans 1925 to 1944. What was it actually written though? I gotta say it's gotta be in the 50s. Yeah, 52. Yeah, so 52, and then not long after that it got made into the Elvis movie. Yeah, so very interested in reading that, see how it is. Another John Byrne. This is Born Under Mars. Yeah, the cover's okay. Don't mind that. I mean, this was 50 cents, so can't really complain on that. Donald A. Wollheim says it was good. A dramatic picture of future humanity and Martian adventure. I don't really care what they're about. I'll read them. I'll just pick up something. Another John Saul. Comes the Blind Fury. I think John Saul liked creepy kids. And a child cries out in torment, in terror, from out of the past, from out of the mists. A terrible vengeance is born. So yeah, I think he had a thing for creepy kids. but so do I, so it's great. This was a good find. Sarah Grant's Claire DeWitt and the City of the Dead. I think this is the first of the Claire DeWitt books, which is great because I have the third one. City of the Dead? Yeah, yeah. Claire DeWitt and the City of the Dead is a knockout start to a brazenly original new series, yes. So I just need to find the second one as well. I think I want to read them in order, even though the third one was recommended to me by someone who said you didn't need to read. I'll either usually read the other two, but I'm gonna do that. And then a couple more literary ones, I guess. You got Brazilian Adventure by Peter Fleming, who I think was married to Cecilia Johnson. Yeah, Cecilia Johnson, the fantastic British actor. Was it Cecilia Johnson that was in? Oh, my memory is terrible today. What was the one where she had an affair and it revolved around a train station. Anyway, Cecilia Johnson was an amazing British actor. You should check out her movies. And then a crappy cover, and I'd probably get rid of it because I think it's a little war damage, but it's Somerset Maugham, The Magician. Evil for evil's sake is the theme. Paris in the 1900s is the place. The sinister and repulsive Richard Haddow gradually brings a happily engaged young English girl under his hypnotic spell, a spell from which the efforts of her fiancé and friends cannot save her. Yeah, that seems like a little slightly darker one from Somerset there, but I do like Somerset Maugham. W Somerset Maugham. I do like Somerset Maugham, so yeah, I enjoy reading this, I think. Love The Razor's Edge, even though it is a little bit like kind of new agey. Kind of has something kind of new agey kind of like love, but even if it's a kind of dark response to one of the wars, I can't remember the response to World War One or World War Two. Yeah, so it's kind of more like a peace loving love life as it is now, rather than worrying about other like money and other stuff and material stuff. What else have I referenced? Sounds like more Cake and Ale. That was okay. I can't really remember what it was about. I haven't read Human Bondage, but I have it somewhere, so I think that's his most famous. I liked the movie of was that A Painted Veil with Toby Jones and Naomi Watts. That was good, and I believe Leaf Sheep. Is it Leaf Schreiber? Was in that one? So yeah, that was good. But yeah, that was the mail hole. I was hoping to do a weirdly specific book video, but I don't actually know what the book is. So if I can find that, hopefully I'll get that up soon. Don't know what else. I'm probably close to finishing a couple books, so I might actually be able to talk about some books that I've read in another coming video. But other than that, just look out, and hopefully I will be more active in the month of April, and probably, hopefully, by May, get back to participating in all the things that I've participated in before. And I gotta get some Agatha Christie books read. Actually, I'm getting really behind, and yeah, it'd be nice to have like a check-in with all of us that are doing the read every book by an author challenge. I can't remember who's it is other than Michael K. Vaughan and This Just Ended and Stephen King. I think David Wiley said he was gonna. I think Greg at some point said he was gonna do Raymond Chandler. I can't remember, but anyway, I gotta read some Agatha Christie books. Yeah, looking forward to that. But anyway, we'll see you all soon, hopefully. And yeah, leave any comments below if you've read any of the books I've hauled. If you're excited for me to read any of them, let me know. I might get around to them a bit sooner. And yeah, just any general chat, let me know. And I'll see you soon. Bye.